So I chose my turkey back here, because, this is the Thanksgiving episode. I love that it's like the pilgrim hat is on your head. Do you realize that? I'm Shealyn.
I'm Shay. And this is Shay's Spirit Lounge. Good.
Thanksgiving episode. So I reached out to Shay and I said, are there actual like Thanksgiving horror movies? And we found out no. So now I know we should make up
like 3.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like a big, like, I feel like there's more Christmas horror movies. She found this gem of a film called Pilgrim on Hulu.
Yes.
It is everything I thought it would be. But what were your thoughts? I mean, you watched it, right? You watched the whole thing.
I did watch in all its entirety. This one it's specifically for Thanksgiving. Which is why I chose it. Very, and immediately regretted my decision.
So the premise of the film is they want like a real old-fashioned, which sounds terrible, Thanksgiving. I'm like, did this lady not go to history? Or I guess they didn't teach that in history yet. Now they're teaching what actually happened. But
yes,
she's inviting these pilgrims over to show them an old-timey Thanksgiving. And I'm like, ew. One, why do you want that? Their food was probably terrible. Also, the people were terrible. And then they stay with the family. I thought that was the weirdest part. Like the grown man.
Like clearly the lady who hired them or asked them to do this did not read the fine print of we will come and live with you for like a week.
Yeah. I think she thought, you hire people. This is some real white people stuff, like that they're going to hire somebody to come experience that. I'm like, okay, that sounds, I mean, I'm white clearly, but I wouldn't do this. Like, that just sounds, I took the side of the daughter clearly where she's like, for real, like, this is not going to be fun. Why are we doing this? Right when the characters are introduced, I mean, they what do we even call them? Because they're not reenactors. They're actually like
they're crazy people. They're crazy pilgrim people.
And they are just way intense. They don't break character. And I was like, this is going to be a disaster.
Their thing. They don't even... So I'm so concerned. First of all, I hated every character. Even
the guy. What about the dad? I mean, I hated his character, but he's from, remember, like Dawson's Creek,
right? But like, I'm supposed to root for somebody, but I want you all dead because this sucks. All of you suck.
I think I was rooting for her boyfriend. What's his name? Something cool.
Taj.
I don't think that was the name.
T-A-J.
Was it?
Oh, his name was Finn.
No, Tate was
the little boy. The little boy was Finn. Finn. Finn was the boyfriend, and the little boy was Tate.
There is no tint. Some very progressive names in this. So Finn was the neighbor, her like secret boyfriend. He seemed like the most lovable character. Spoiler alert, he dies.
Right.
And
because
overall,
the crazy mom. Okay, like she has this little tea party or whatever. First, everyone's talking shit about everyone, and about her, and then the daughter overhears these two ladies talk because it's her stepmom, not her real mom, and she tries really hard to be a mom to this girl who is obviously not wanting to have anything to do with her.
Yeah,
and these ladies, she overhears them talking shit. Now, at this point, I would be like, "Wow, that sucks," and like maybe try to give her like. Be nice or whatever, but
that's what I thought it was going to happen. I thought she was going to be like, oh wow, she doesn't fit in either, maybe I get. And I was trying to figure, okay, so Tate, the younger brother, so this is the thing, it opens with a domestic fight, and it wasn't clear to me that was the mom that left. I thought it was them fighting because it's a little rough. And then Tate, who is their son, is what, 10? That means the girl was how old? Because she's supposed to be 17. It was 10. I'm like, 10, girl, give it a rest. This is your mom now. Your biological mom left. Like, I know there's still like animosity and stuff, but like, at least this lady's dealing with you,
Right. And it's been obviously like 7 years. How about you chill the fuck out, man?
like still a brat, and then which the mom, you know, sucks in her own way. They talk about her wanting to just be this perfect Stepford wife, kind of, or more worried about her image and her family, but at the same time, like, she's trying to do this to better her family, you know, like she's trying to, she's not as terrible as I would say the other moms at that party were.
And then although she was really rude to the one, was his name Finn's mom?
Yeah.
Who told her to
she didn't bring the casserole.
Just kidding. She didn't bring the casserole, and then she was like, "I got her you help so she can, you know, cook for you, so you can, you know, take time and like go take a shower." Like, what? I would have smacked the hell out of you. What?
Well, clearly that lady was having issues quitting smoking, and then she's kind of like making light of the situation, like, "Oh, I used to party," you know, like I liked that lady. Obviously, I saw a lot of myself.
And like there are so many things that you were like, oh yes, I see this coming. Like, there was no surprise. Everything about it was pretty. Like, she's making the tea for her, and I'm like, okay, she's gonna kill her. She's gonna die.
Right? I was like, okay, so why are you gonna drink this tea for this lady who is like just way too intense for me? Like, she's like, Ethan knows. You know, and I thought it was going to have more of a reveal at the end that like he was under a curse because he didn't appreciate his family, and now he's forced to do this until he finds another family. That's what I thought this movie was getting at.
Yeah, there was some weird things that I was like, I don't understand. Like, okay, are you talking to God? Do you think it's God? Are you possessed in some way? Like, because then all of a sudden he has like this weird like heart attack when he's like, no, the kid is teachable, and then like he has some like thing happened to him, and I'm like,
what was that? Also, why is the mom letting this old dude hang out with her son, who's clearly a formidable age? I was so angry at that, and that's why again I kind of agreed with the daughter, where at least she saw like, okay, this old dude that we don't know shouldn't be telling our son a bedtime story, and then shouldn't have my son in a shack.
Like, going and taking him berry picking by yourself,
right? Like, clearly, I think that was supposed to, you know, show that the mom is as aloof as the dad and like doesn't care and kind of, you know, just, oh, everything's fine. Nah. No, like that's when kids get targeted and molested or something, you know. And so then like as the movie progresses, they just start building a whole town. And like nobody cares. Like they have a shed. He pops that shed up, and then like
which is weird
more
in itself.
People.
Okay,
there's other people showing up too, like constantly more and more people. You have it, and then like I don't know. I knew it was going to go downhill when her mom took away her cell phone, which was very predictable. I knew that was going to happen, but I'm like, okay, now it's going to get really weird.
Or they turn the whole backyard into some weird swamp or something.
Which I was like, this looks rad. This looks like the Waterworld show at Universal. I was like, I would love this in my backyard. But then they start making like punishing apparatuses, you know, like I think you should have seen that something was happening back there, and then you can't find your kids.
Like, how are you walking around going, this is real authentic?
Yeah, this is gonna be great. And oh my gosh, I can't get the movie. I mean, it was very drawn out, although it was only an hour and 20 minutes, I think. Like, but it felt like 3 hours.
But it felt forever. And it was just like already.
And the guy was, I mean, like, more power to him. He's a great actor, the guy playing the Pilgrim, Ethan. But like, I was like, dude, okay, enough already. And the other lady was such a wench. That like, you know, I was glad when they ate, spoiler alert, when they ate the berries. I was very happy. I was like, please die already so this movie will end. I know. And then with that part when he's like, expel yourself, and she's like, she throws up your stomach can't even hold that much stuff that she's throwing up. Like
I know.
I appreciate it for that element. It was very gory in those scenes. They had some great jump like gores where like the dad gets stabbed in the hand. Gross. I love when the dad's head comes out on
who did. It's all predictable. I'm like, he is here for the feast. Well, God, his head is under there. That like, okay,
his life
kid
insurance
sees his dad's head. He's like, is that dad? Oh my God. And he pukes. And I'm like, okay, that's a normal response. But then he's like, to his mom, who's like kicking ass now. And he's like, good job.
Like, no, I couldn't write a better movie. I'm not hating on it for that reason. It's just like, so predictable that it was like,
Yes.
enough. Like, they're drowning her over it. I was like, okay, you already did it enough. Like, either kill
Which
her or
I
move on.
honestly thought there was going to be something else in the water with her when they just kept leaving her in the water. And I was like, is she going to like open her eyes and see like her mom or something? Like,
Oh,
is
that'd
there
be
going to be
freaky.
something there?
Yeah,
And then
oh no,
come back up.
I figured it was, so one, I made my nana watch this movie with me because I'm visiting my parents for the and she was like, she'll watch horror movies. She likes horror movies, but this was like, it was like Shay, and so she was saying that they used to do that to witches. I don't know, is that a thing where, and then if you lived, you were, I don't know. So maybe it was just the drowning. I just wanted them to leave her under there at some point. I mean, I had enough of this film. She's very cute. I liked looking at the main actress, but at the same time, I was like, enough. Because she was right the whole time. And I hate those movies where one person is, like they're demonized almost. She was supposed to be the bad seed. She's got the weed in her crucifix,
but she's also an asshole.
Yeah, no, she is, but like, that's unfortunately who is the hero at the end. So I don't know. And then like the fact that he was searching in her room, Ethan, the weird pilgrim guy, to find her crucifix, like I feel like even if your parents are like totally, at a, on a different planet, they would draw a line there, like this dude. But then again, maybe not, because they let him go berry picking with the fucking sun. I couldn't get over the
and then
stupidity
at the end when the wife and the husband were finally like, okay, let's leave, it's time to go, and then they're like, no, and then they stick them in that head arm thing. And
what is that called? I was trying to figure out what those were called.
I have to look it up, but they got them in the shackled thing. And then okay, and why people say stupid shit during movies, because then he's like, well, people are going to hear us, well, let's rectify that then. Stick the thing in your mouth. And I'm just like,
like they always reveal what they're gonna do, like or why was the key hanging right by the lock? Like when she came to unlock them, she's like, oh, how handy that the key is hanging by the lock,
well, you don't want to lose it, really, so you don't want to lose
I'm
the
pretty
key.
sure when you have someone in that, like, you're either gonna leave them or like then you move them to the one that chops your head off, guillotine. I was happy when he got stabbed.
I also think
when he put his hand up. I was rooting for like the Pilgrims at some point. Oh.
So like when the daughter is saying how grateful she is and all this stuff, right? Clearly fake, but she's like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to say. And so the mom, I love the mom's reaction.
Oh,
she's like, fuck this, dude, I'm awesome. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I was like, clearly she isn't getting the memo that like this is where you fool them. She's still like, but I think that's supposed to show her character sucks and that she's like only cares about herself and her image, so I guess
it's also like she was trying really hard, as they made comments in the little tea party earlier, that she tries too hard. Like at least her real mom didn't try this. Well, real mom left, so
yeah. And maybe he wasn't like as rich then, because I think he's supposed to be rich and like has a good job, something with the stock market.
He's supposed to be in the investments or something. He's like, well, investments aren't gonna and she's like, so it's at the table.
Yeah. Like he's watching the ticker. I'm like, dude, if you just stare at it, it's not really gonna change. And then I thought maybe the wife was gonna have an affair with the Pilgrim guy. Like there are directions this movie could have taken.
Yes,
didn't. There stayed very predictable.
But it did also make the wife, I mean, at the end she's like, oh, I'm a badass, and she does weird ninja kicks and shit. But then like I'm like, you're an idiot like the whole time. Yeah. Like you're confused about the candles, and you're taking the lights out, and you're putting the candle, but you're like, I don't know what fits. And I'm like, what?
Yeah. I mean, she nailed the character. That one, she's the mom in Cobra Kai. I like her. She's great. She always kind of looks aloof, naturally, and that's her thing. It's her look. I get it, but in this movie, like the moment they told me like my kids are fine, but I would have like just started murdering people walking down the thing. Like why didn't they? They're just kind of like, oh, okay, they're fine. Like, I hated them. The parents could have just died right away, and I thought maybe the little boy was going to be the only one to live, and then he was going to join the Pilgrims. This movie would have been a good as like a short, like a Tales from the Crypt. This would be great as like an
Which
hour
is what
or
I
less.
originally thought it was. Because it says Into the Dark series, and I was like, oh, so it's part of a series. That's why I was like, never mind. And then I looked at it again. I was like, oh no, it's a whole movie. So then we'll watch that.
Yeah, which would be cool if they have other ones come out and they're shorter.
If it was short, it could have been done a lot shorter.
40 minutes, this would have been gold. Like less of the. Why are we showing these people like shucking corn and shit? Like.
Right,
I don't know. And then when she's doing the berry, like she's so extreme, like when she's doing the berry thing. I don't even know what that's churning berries, churning butter. I don't know.
She's churning butter, but she was grinding up the berries with pestle. I don't know what it's called, but
mescaline. Yeah. No, I thought they were like jasmine berry. I don't know. I looked them up. I was gonna have that as my background, just the berries.
Berries. But here's the thing. If they're poisonous, why did your dumbass pick them?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. I'm like, and then you have them all around the other ones.
Yeah, and he's like, don't eat those. Those are poison. Then why did you bring them? Like,
yeah. Well, and I think that's when the daughter's like, yeah, exactly. Like, why and where did you find these? And where did you take the little boy? Wouldn't you have asked the little boy at that time, like, where did you go? Because there's no berries in this neighborhood. Right. Like, you couldn't just leave my parents' house, who live in a similar neighborhood to this movie. You go, there's no berries anywhere, and I'm in a farming town. Like, what? I don't know. Very unrealistic. This whole movie, unrealistic. I thought it was gonna be.
Because then I was also wondering, like, when all the pilgrims decided to join, and there was like an abundance of pilgrims, I was like, did you guys do this just to take over their house?
That's what I was wondering. And I thought, do they only do this once a year? Like, and then they live there? Because in the beginning, and I guess I wasn't paying enough attention, in the opening credits, they're flashing to missing families, like newspaper clippings about missing families. So right away I thought, okay, the family is either going to be murdered or like become the pilgrims and go on this adventure
and then go with them.
Yeah, like
which is probably what the goal was, but then obviously this family fought back because every other family before that were really stupid.
Yeah, but the fact that she invited them in, like I could tell that was like a whole vampire throw right there, where she, they're like, you have to be invited in.
Well, like, yeah, especially with the way they walked in, it was like boom, like weird
on the but also like I don't understand why that had to be so notable, because it's not like they were superhuman. Like these people were just normal, right? Or were they?
They were just weird. I don't know.
Yeah, like it's natural to have a million questions after movies that normally are answered once you rewatch it. I won't be rewatching this, so I will never know the answers. I may like recommend it to somebody so that they just keep I keep the views up on it.
Like the Ring,
support,
right?
Yeah, I'll be like,
it's like the Ring. We're just gonna pass
it's
this
so
around.
Good. Yeah, and then people are watching it like, I hate you. What is wrong with you? So yeah, I'll stick to Planes, Trains, and Automobiles as my Thanksgiving movie. That is a great one.
How many turkeys do you give it?
I'm gonna say 1 turkey for effort.
Out of 1 for
one
effort,
out of 5, right?
I mean,
I guess it could maybe be a 2. That's still really bad. I don't want to, like, I respect anyone who writes a whole movie, gets it. Somebody thought this was a great idea. Somebody put money behind it. And yeah, I don't know. What do you give it?
1. I feel like 1 should be like the lowest, because you did write it, you got people to play in it.
Yeah,
but dude, some of the dialogue, some of the things, and I'm like, I feel like you were trying to go for like some funny stuff, like sarcasm, but you missed the mark, man. You missed the mark.
My nana was like, is this supposed to be scary? And I'm like, I guess. Like, it takes a long time for it to even get, like, it's weird the whole time. It kind of has that vibe, but even then it takes like 30 minutes, I think, for it to even be kind of weird.
Too much.
Exactly.
Because it doesn't build up and then you start noticing, oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. It's like a weird build up, and you're just like, this isn't even a build up. This was like a
let down.
Barely happened. It was.
It was limp, and they tried.
It was.
Didn't try hard enough. So I wouldn't recommend it.
No,
or it's great. Everybody watch it. And then they're like, I hate you. But yeah.
I love that I watched the first 20 minutes. I told you I watched the first 20 minutes and you're like, you have to watch the rest of it.
Yeah. And you thought it was going to have a payoff. And I'm like, no, I'll just share in my misery and watch.
I know. I was like, does it get worse? And you crickets. Didn't even say anything.
I think I was still watching it and struggling myself.
So follow us on Facebook and Instagram and share, subscribe, hit the bell for YouTube and all that fun stuff.
Like even if you write that I suck, just write something.
Well, we don't want negativity, honestly, but yeah, make a comment. If you didn't like this movie, please tell us.
Yeah, watch it. We're gonna give it all the new views on Hulu. You're welcome, Hulu. And then let us know what you think of it.
Hulu should sponsor us.
Yeah. All right. Well, great to see you. Love you.
Bye. Perfect.
See, I know that you keep recording, so you can use this against me later. How do you not use a ring light? I was gonna say I wanted to wear my glasses to look smart, and doesn't work with the ring light.
No, I don't use a ring light.
Oh, you're just naturally beautiful. But I was like, oh, I could look really cool. And then I would just constantly have to be like this. That's not going to work. Anyway.